Welcome in, everyone, here on another week of Sports Den. I'm your host, Blythe Whaley, as J.W. Cox is out of the office today. So you have me throughout the remainder of our show here today, but it is action-packed. We had quite a few different sports that happened last week for our coverage, and we're excited to get to show it to you. But, of course, Minnesota fans, we had a tough one there on Sunday, so hopefully some of these highlights can bring some of the positivity back into our lives and in the Minnesota sports world. But let's get started. Let's kick it off. We got our football, that feast of how many games we had here on North Metro TV to bring you our teams, 3 of them. So that first one coming at you, Totino Grace taking on Centennial right away, pushing it across the end line there. Exciting to see Centennial get on the board early, and they're trying to do it again, running into the end zone, 14-0 our score. This interception happening here. Centennial with it again. Looking to get through. This one takes a moment to get started, but running all the way. Take a look at how this foot race begins, but he makes it into the end zone. Centennial, everything is going their way. Pitching it out to the left again and into the end zone. Centennial taking this one and running with it, 28-0. Finding the open man in the end zone, bringing it in. Can they do it again? Centennial finding it here in the third quarter. But this time, you can't go without a Totino Grace touchdown. They get one in the fourth quarter, 41-7. Stepping into our second game on Doc Champlin Park, Blaine getting it started is Kendall Stadden with the early field goal. Putting this on 3-0 is our score, but finding the ball out of the air, having to create something when it wasn't there. Givens. Erickson taking it himself there as he pushed it across the end line. This one blocks the punt is Heinen, and resulting they'll get a field goal, 10-3 our score. A faked punt, and the Bengals get taken down, a big loss, and they'll have to turn it over on downs as they look to capitalize on this. This is J.J. Robinson, 18-yard touchdown as he brings it into the end zone. This looks similar, but Givens again, 35 yards, taking it into the end zone, 25-3 our score, and we're in the fourth now. And as this one going the other way, that prayer was answered for Braun as the Bengals trying to get back into this game. He takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Bengals call looking for his man. He finds him in the left side of the end zone. As they get back into this game, they are finding their way. Call taking it himself. And this is a 25-17 game. If the Bengals weren't believing, they are now. Champlin Park is sweating, that is for sure, as this ball sails over his head and a safety. 25-19 our score. Call heaves this one up to Reynolds. He pulls it in. Call now to Preston Myers, and it's a tied game, 25-25. 20 seconds on the clock. Kendall Stadden sinks the extra point. Unlike the Vikings, maybe they need to hire him. 26-25 final. Take a look at the football summary here of this game. Champlin Park coming up short as the Bengals find themselves in the fourth. Those total yards, 273, but call 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a lot of great things, but especially we take a look at that Kendall Staden. Again, game-winning field goal kick that we saw there at the end. We're coming back. Chanhassen Storm and the Spring Lake Park Panthers. Finding Fletcher getting into the end zone there. 7-0 our score. Grandstaff running in touchdown for 4 yards there, putting them up. But the Spring Lake Park Panthers are able to block the punt. They're down inside the 5 here. And the Spring Lake Park Panthers, this is Licky, 5 yards, gonna run it in and get at least a touchdown before it's over. 14-7, Chanhassen Storm win it. As we take a look at some of these stats, 234 total yards for the Chanhassen Storm, 125 rushing yards for the Panthers. But passing yards, Chanhassen Storm taking it with 152. As we look at the standings of our teams, Blaine 1-1 in conference, 2-1 overall. Centennial 1-1 in conference and 1-2 in overall. And Spring Lake Park on the west side, they haven't played a conference game yet, but overall 2-1. Football schedules, we'll get to see some more action as the Bengals take on St. Michael Albertville on the 24th and Totino Grace on the 1st. Centennial will take a look at Maple Grove at home on the 24th, and we'll head to Wayzata on the 1st. And the Spring Lake Park Panthers taking on Irondale on the 24th and heading to Matamidi on the 1st. It's crazy to see those October dates just appearing on the schedule. We're getting closer and closer to that month as we start to feel it. Summer is certainly, shut the chapter on that one. We're headed to fall and we're excited. It feels great. Gonna be some cool temperatures. But our next sport is a different kind of football as we head to the soccer fields. Blaine taking on Coon Rapids as these guys get ready for it. Coon Rapids out wide there on the left, looking to slot it to the middle of the field, and they get the first goal on the board. Yaya Sidbig. This one sent up and popped up there. Blaine, the defense, comes in clutch. This is Zach Newby, not looking like a newbie as he saves this one. Top of the 18-yard box, slots this one to the left side of the goal. Yukon Harmon. Can Yukon Harmon do it again? He can. Yukon Harmon finding 2 goals already. But he doesn't want to stop there. He finds another one. Hats off to him for the hat trick. The final score, Coon Rapids 4-0 over our Bengals. Now the ladies get their chance. This one coming off of the free kick, Molly Knobloch finding the net for the first goal of the game. 1-0 Coon Rapids heading on top. This one, the Bengals find their own here in the right side. Ellie Meehan. But Kendall Staden, she can't go a game without scoring, can she? Top of the 18-yard box, slotting it low corner. Staden on the board. Jordan Pascarella with space, using her speed, and she's back and she's showing it. Bengals finding yet another goal. 3-1. Up top and into the box, able to punch that one in. That's Anna Kobeck. 3-2 final score. Bengals coming out on top. But as we look at the standings, Centennial 7-0 in conference, 8-0 overall, leading the pack. Our Bengals down there just a few, 4-3 in conference, 5-3 overall, and Spring Lake Park 2-5 in the conference and 3-6 overall. As we look at our schedules, we got to see the Bengals winning here these last two, Coon Rapids and Anoka. They'll take on Osseo on the 21st and Rogers on the 23rd. Centennial, we got to see them win also those first two versus Elk River and Andover. Spring Lake Park on the 21st and the 23rd, Park Center. And we look at our standings. Centennial 4-2-1 in the conference, 5-2-1 overall. Spring Lake Park 4-3 in the conference and 4-5 overall. And Blaine 3-3 and 4-4 overall. On the boys' side, they lost to Coon Rapids, the Bengals did, and they got the win, that recuperating game versus Anoka. They'll take on Osseo on the 21st and the 23rd. They'll take on Rogers at home. Centennial getting a win in that one versus Elk River. Coon Rapids, they lost. They'll take on Andover, or they did take on Andover and they won. And now the 21st, Spring Lake Park and Park Center on the 23rd. Spring Lake Park won the first two, lost this last one, and Centennial is where they head on the 21st, and Andover, they'll head there on the 23rd. But gosh, we all know soccer is one of my favorites, so that was certainly fun to watch. But you guys, we have way more sports still ahead. The next thing we are heading to, as we bump it on over, we head to the courts yet again. This time, the volleyball courts. The Blaine Bengals head to Champlin Park as Angela Gus serving this ace, helping her team out in that first set. But this is set point. Champlin Park leading the way. They push it over and they win the first set, 25-19. Bengals trying to get something started in this second set. They use some power, but ultimately at the net, the Bengals find a way to put it down. Set point here in that second set, and the Bengals unable to handle it. And set number two goes to Champlin Park as well. We're in the third set. We saw the libero having to pancake to keep that one alive, as the Bengals wanting to use the power, but it almost works against them as Champlin Park shoves it back, and they win this one, all three sets of those early sets. Volleyball standings, Blaine in conference 2-1, 9-2 overall. In Centennial 1-1 and 6-3 overall. Spring Lake Park there 0-2 and 2-9 overall. For our schedules, see a lot of wins there for Blaine early on. They did lose to Woodbury, and they took on Andover here tonight and Anoka on the 22nd. Centennial, they'll take a look at Anoka here on tonight, I guess, and Champlin Park, they will be taking on Centennial on the 22nd. Spring Lake Park, a couple of losses there early, then they redeemed themselves with a couple wins, and the last one though was a loss to Mankato South. So hopefully they redeem themselves here versus Totino Grace tonight, and Blaine on the 28th. Hi you guys, we are still chugging along in our sports feast, our dinner here of all of these sports tonight. But you guys, we still have one more on dock for us, and that means we get to take a deep dive. This time, oh wait, we are gonna hold off on that deep dive into the pool and first head to yet another court, this time tennis. Let's serve it up. This one was between St. Anthony and our Spring Lake Park Panthers. This is Siskova taking on Weber. Siskova in the gray skirt there on the near side of your screen. Tied 3 games apiece, and now Weber's won that last point. Siskova up 4-3 in this first set. Siskova up 40-30. 5-4. As you see her power, so her coach was telling me before the game, is she just has a lot of power on her every hit that she has, her serves and her hits. But one thing too is she's from the Czech Republic, getting cleared to play. And you see how much she made Weber have to move her feet. Siskova up 6-4 in the first set, 5-3 in that second set, and she rounds it out 6-3. Was that final set for her. She got the win. As we take a look at number 1 singles, Ava Nelson and Molly Garber, 6-0, 6-0. And doubles first for them, Johnson and Pierbix and Miller and Scheibe, 6-2, 6-2. This is the Blaine Bengals for us, and that was against Elk River on the 14th, so it was a few days ago, but still definitely important one as they move forward, these early matches. And another one for the Bengals, Coon Rapids took on Blaine. Molly Garber defeating Gabby Newton 6-1, 6-2. On the doubles, first is Scheibe Hulseth of Blaine defeating Olson and Scheck of Coon Rapids 7-5, 6-2. Overall, the Bengals won that 7-0. But as we look at our schedules, Champlin Park is who Blaine takes on the 21st, and Irondale on the 22nd. Centennial taking on Maple Grove on the 21st, and White Bear Lake on the 22nd. Spring Lake Park, Anoka on the 22nd, and Park Center on the 23rd. So a lot of tennis in the forecast. Okay, I may have wanted to jump in the pool, but we did just have 90 yesterday. So, I mean, still on the brain, the heat wave, but we do have our final highlights coming around the corner, as now we do dive into the pool. Spring Lake Park Panthers taking on Blaine. And Blaine has been just a swimming force these last few seasons. This is a 200-yard medley relay for varsity. The Blaine A team gets it done. That was Allison Schrank hitting the wall for that relay team. Now we're in the 200-yard freestyle. Maddie Schrank touching the wall. Sophia Leo finding it in the 200-yard IM for varsity. But the 50-yard freestyle for varsity, that quick one coming at you, Allison Schrank getting it done. As we head to the diving well, this is when Elise Rosenberg gets it done, and Erin Luagi coming in second. 100-yard butterfly. This one, look at that spacing, how far ahead she is. Maddie Schrank for Blaine, the sophomore. Now the 100-yard freestyle, Sophia Leo, 56.10. As we head to the 500-yard varsity freestyle, a very long one, but Allison Schrank, the senior, coming up with it. As we head to that backstroke, Spring Lake Park's 8th grader, Cora Rosenberg. As this swim meet continues on, we keep finding a lot of these athletes having some good margins for victory. As we see yet another one here. The Bengals do win this one, defeating Spring Lake Park 96-82. Blaine did go into exhibition, so their points did stop counting in the middle of this meet. And so Spring Lake Park got to add to their score as we moved on. So that's why it got a little bit closer than maybe it seemed with all of those Bengal wins. But as we take a look at the schedules, Blaine at Maple Grove on the 21st and at Park Center on the 23rd. Centennial at Coon Rapids on the 23rd and at home versus Armstrong on the 30th. Spring Lake Park the 30th taking on Park Center, and the 7th is at Osseo. So they got a little bit of a break in between some of these meets. In our upcoming coverage, like I said, a lot of fall sports on the forecast for us. The 21st, soccer, Spring Lake Park at Centennial. Football on the 24th, Irondale at Spring Lake Park, and Maple Grove at Centennial. Volleyball is Blaine at Spring Lake Park on the 28th, and soccer, Blaine at Spring Lake Park. And again, October, that 1st of October on our schedule. Football, Totino Grace at Blaine. But you guys, we did it. We made it through all of our fantastic fall sports highlights from last week. I'm so glad that you've joined us through it all, but like every week, follow us on social media. We have all of those out there for you to just join along with us. And our website, of course, northmetrotv.com for all of the sports that we cover, our YouTube channel as well. But you guys, this has been a pleasure. I'm glad we were able to spend this evening together. I'm Blythe Whaley on behalf of my North Metro crew. We hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time here on Sports Den.